So let's see. Let's see. Still nothing. So let's see. I think we can start soon. Very soon. Like, what about now? Well, hi. Today we are going to continue writing on our ActivityPub project. This time we are going to implement JSON-LD, which is the format that Mastodon uses to put its data into before it sends and receives them. And we need to be able to generate new files or data in that format and read data from that format. Let's see. First, we need PyLD. We are going to use PyLD. This one, which hasn't been updated in quite a while, but there are no other ones that are small enough that we can make it async IO capable. So we are just gonna use this one, and we are going to clone it. So check in the streams, git. Let's get a copy of this repository. Now we have PyLD. Wonderful. And this is our file, our repository. So we have a set of requirements. The AIO HTTP support is actually a lie, because if you look here under lib PyLD async IO, you will see that it's trying to get the event loop, and further down tries to just use it. So if you look here, it runs loop until run until complete, or in other words, it starts an event loop, but you can't use this loader in existing event loops. Therefore, it's essentially useless. Yeah. So as always, let's create a flag.nix inputs nix packages URL, GitHub nixos nix packages nixos unstable inputs flag parts GitHub less ci flake parts. Outputs is self nix pkg's flake parts. The rest, everything goes also in the inputs. We want a new flake. It should know about our inputs. Done. Systems, as always, we care about x86-64 on Linux. And from there, we want the def shells.default equals packages.mk shell build inputs. So we want the Python 3.11 with packages. So, and let's look at our requirements. It needs requests. Actually, it won't. But before, we want to test how it works. And it needs frozen dict. Use flake, that's all. Env dir env allow. Let's navigate back to master. Let's see. Oh, it's fetching everything it needs. Let's see how well it goes. We see a lot. We should have a Python. Can't find PyLD. Let's fix this real quick. Actually, let's just go to lib. We want to. How do we use this again? Ah, yeah, we compact it, but without a context. So we want to compact from PyLD import JSON-LD compact Mastodon.social Gagron, I think it was Gargron. I see. It needs a context. We will provide an empty one and it will crash because of a huge error message. And it never tells us. Cool. Let's see why this fails. And we do this by just going in here. Yeah, let's make it easier for now. Maybe not from here, but from here. Let's print out the text. This should print out the text or not. There was this one error. So in short, we want to know the URL because this gives us an information. We need the accept header. Let's look at what is going on in this case. Wants to give us an activity stream, and that one is already incorrect. Why? Is this already incorrect? This should be the right profile. Let's see. Why isn't this working correctly? Was something about giving the wrong Q values. Okay. What do you mean by peak cam position? So in that case, prof. This should actually yield the correct. This opens the link in a weird way. Whatever. That's the point. It's always hard to fix issues like that. This will look fun for a second. So now it should look on top of me. that. Now I should be logging up. So how was it called again? I use the software so Insomnia. I always never use the software. Please open here, thanks. Don't share. Let's try opening it again. This looks like shit. You might not see it, but this looks like shit. That being said, I want this. And I want this accept header. Send. Excuse me? What? Yeah, that's the bug. So the header it's giving at that point. And in the context resolver, I think. JSON-LD context, this one. This one. Yeah, but not as 0.8, but as 0.3 to prefer JSON actually. And no, I don't want Insomnia. I want to try compacting it again. And suddenly it loads. Magic. And now I don't need to print out this entire stuff anymore. Import pprint. Let's move this privacy shroud. I want to read my own code. pprint.pprint. And yes, I'm using Insomnia. And I want to use JSON-LD.compact with an empty context for a reason. Mastodon.social at Gargron. This looks like a yeah, like that. Cool. This is helpful. See, Now we get to the boring part. But first, let's make some commits. Prefer application JSON and HTML. So, next step is to notice that this is the only part these two files essentially abstract away how to do requests. So what I'm going to do is essentially defining a type, which is a document loader, which is a callable. It returns an awaitable, which returns a dict. This is a shit library. Deal with it. It takes a URL, which is a string. It takes another dict. And this is the new thing. So HTTP document loader. And this is not async because this is effectively a constructor. URL is a string, headers is a dict. Let's ignore this. So we know that a document loader is async. So we need to go to this huge file and find the document loader. Essentially. So what we are going to do is finding the default document loader, which is here, and we want the dummy document loader, which is this one, and we make it async. Easy. The function getDocumentLoader is the important one because this one returns an async value. So what we are going to do is make a new file, make sure that this file is written so we can close it. And this is something like a queue. So we enter getDocumentLoader here and see where it is being used. Well, we seem to have a kind of test suite, but let's ignore this for now. It is being used. Is it being used at all? Interesting. So it uses the document loader. document loader. So this function downloads a document. Cool. And this one here is updating the document or loading it. She once said, hi. Let's put the chat into a new window. So the document loader. It's apparently the only place where it's loaded, which is good. So load document. You're watching this was drunk on sleepiness. Nice, I'm also sleepy. Let's declare this as done. Now make load document async. And let's await the thing. What's the time there? It's 9:30. So the remote document. Well, that's late. So we assume that this is the only time an async function is called here. We don't know that yet, but we will see. We note down load document and find every use of it. So let's see. No, I think the problem is like this, and then we can make this. And now we go from top to bottom. We know that this one is async. Let's rewrite this thing a little bit to be nicer. And we know that this function fetch context also is async. We are in the class context resolver. Fetch context. But we're not done with load document. So this is a documentation. This one is not. So let's set it to async. And we are in the file class JSON-LD processor. Frame. Load document. This one too. Let's make it async. JSON-LD processor.expand. Document. I think I got every single one of them. We can mark this as done. Next part is fetch context. which is now an async function, which means we need to await it. Which means this one is now async. Which means this one is done. Dot frame. Thanks YouTube for sending me this email. So this one is async 2 now. And we need to await this too. And we have this call in, yeah, that's, I think we got every single one of them. Next part is x.expand. That's used a little bit more often. So we need to await this. So JSON-LD processor.compact .expand next use expand. We need to await this too. In which function are we? In frame again. Cool. I directly see another .expand. And we have an expand here, which needs to be asynchronized to RDF. Self.expand. And we have this one, which we need to await. We need to make this async. Add it to the list. Do we have a .expand? Yeah, it doesn't sound hard if the library is relatively small, which is why I used this library. This needs to be async too. And now we have the function expand. Expand. Did I get every single one of them? I did. So we can mark expand as done. And use resolve remote context, which is used here. This is relatively long line. I prefer if we do this. And this function is not async. And text resolver dot resolve. So next step. Did I get every one of it? Yes. Next. The function frame, which I assume doesn't get called too often. Readme. This one. is shadowing. One is also shadowing. Yeah. I think that's just public API. Let's go look at we have this one, that's the readme again. We have this. We need to make it available. It's already available. Compact. That's from the documentation. This must be awaited. This isn't available. And now this one is also on the list. Next step. This one, we need to make it available. It is already. Cool. Dot compact. This is dot compact. I think I caught all of them. Next step. To RDF. We have this function, which is probably, yeah. To RDF. This one isn't. And now it's normalized. So. Next entry. That's all okay. Then mark this as complete. Let's do dot flatten, which needs to be marked as await. This one is async. Flatten. Think this might be all. Cool. Then continue with expand, which is seemingly not being called. The readme, that's okay. I expected that. Dot resolve, which is used quite a few times. I need to set this to async, which makes process context async. Which is in this is a huge class. Really huge. JSON-LD context. JSON. Solve. Process context. These must be available, which is good that it is already is. No, it's not done. And this needs to be available, which it already is. So seems good. The next step is the function compact, which I think is just an API. This one I think is 2. Then dot normalize. Also just tests. Almost. This needs to be async. So next step is flatten. Which is seemingly all. What's that? Nothing. Good. Next step is this context. This one is a bitch. It starts like here. You need to evade this. Now we're at the juicy part. Expand index map. This is like used everywhere. So this one is also not async. Expand object. This one isn't either. The next step is going here. So it's these large functions all need access to the context. consider huge. Let's just check here for a second. Yes. This isn't used. This is async already. This is good. Could it be that this one is also already? Yes, it's an expand. That's the last one. Cool. Process context is done. Using normalized tests. Nobody. Expand index map is used on some places. Expand index map. Expand index map. Expand index map. Expand index map. That's this one, so we're done. Expand objects. Also used in some places. Expand object. Says context, which is seemingly used quite a lot of places too. Process context. Process context. This context. I think we got all of them. We didn't get this one. Do we have any additional ones? Have not been awaited. Doesn't look like it. So dot expand. This one needs to be awaited. This line is also too long. Expand. 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 Did we miss any expand? Nope. Next. Compact. Used in some places. So looks good. So let's see if I got everything. Let's go on back to the flag.nix IPython, because that makes it easier. Let's use REO HTTP instead. And requests isn't needed anymore because it's not async. This was the example. So this part isn't needed anymore. Let's rename this to loader. Should be everything we need. So request document loader doesn't exist now. So, and now we use IPython. Compact Mastodon.social Gargron okay, loading document. Can't see. line 59. Did I forget something here? Yes, I did. So here it's options. So since this is running within a loop, we don't need either. Yeah. Cool. So when we do this, it should become very, very small. Awesome. Cool. I think this works. Except I don't like what they did here, but I think that's an option. So let's see. Graph compact arrays, expand context, skip expansion, active base. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, like that. Cool. And now it's async. Only took us an hour. So yeah, this is what I wanted to do today. Let's commit. Make PyLD async capable. just like that. And I think I'm going to call it a day now. I think this was very successful. We made an entire library async capable, and we are now capable of loading stuff. The next few streams, maybe 1 or 2, will be a little bit more complex. We are going to use this now to recursively build new documents using this format. I will explain more about how I intend to do it and why it's necessary what I want to do, and how this will then become the backbone of the support for ActivityPub of my web service. So until then,